Hi guys! Today I'm so excited to be sharing day one of Summerween. This is a very fun fall and Halloween reading challenge in July. It is hosted every year by Gabby and Olivia. I will link their channels and Summerween videos down below for you to check out. And today I'm going to be starting off with a bang. We're going to get some reading done. I got some pumpkin chocolate chip cookies we're going to be making, and let's hop into some of the books I plan on reading. Okay, so the first prompt for Summerween this year is to read one book at night, so I'm going to leave that kind of open. I'll show you some of my other picks, but let's go into the more specific prompts. The next one is a thriller. So the first one is really fun. It's a baking, kind of Clue-esque one. It's described as a combination of Clue and the Great British Bake Off, and it's called The Golden Spoon by Jessa Maxwell. And I've been dying to read this. I'm very excited. It's on the shorter side, which I think will be nice for this reading challenge. It's only 271 pages. Basically, we have 6 baking contestants. They're going to this big, expansive Vermont estate. So really beautiful, gorgeous setting. You can kind of see the outline of the estate here on the cover, which I love. I think it's a very fun, clever way of how they designed this, really cool. And basically while they're on set, there's a big baking celebrity and someone dies on the set. Things start to happen. It's supposed to be kind of Clue-esque, so I'm very excited for that. You'll see we have a little bit of a Clue theme going on. The next thriller I picked out is actually a debut. This is called The House in the Pines by Anna Reyes, and this is a Reese's Book Club pick. I'm excited. So this is our kind of a summary thriller, it sounds like. Our main character is Maya, and basically when she was young, one of her friends just dropped dead in front of this man named Frank in their small town. But there was never any way to connect her friend's death to this man. It was just really unusual. So fast forward many years later, the possible crime of her friend's death has not been solved in any way. There's not really any explanations, and Maya has been coping with it using some maybe substances, it sounds like, to get herself through the trauma that she's experienced basically. But one night she is watching a YouTube video and she sees a clip, a news clip I'm assuming, of a similar situation where someone drops dead in front of the same man, Frank, in a very similar manner to her friend's death. So she decides to go back home and she's going to really sort through and figure it out. So it sounds like her father was Guatemalan and he had a diary or journal, and so she's going through that and she's going through other clues from the time. I'm really excited. It sounds fun. This one's a little less Halloween or fall themed, but definitely a thriller, so still appropriate, and I'm very excited for it. The next prompt is all about picking a book set in fall, and I don't know when these other two are set for sure, but this one is set during Halloween, so this is perfect. The author did send this out to me, which I am so appreciative of because I've loved the first 2 books in the series, and that is Fatal Fudge Swirl by Mary Allen. It is the ice cream shop mystery series. I love this series. I read the first 2 books earlier this year and I haven't stopped talking about it. They've been so good. Our main character in this series is Riley Rhodes. She's a travel food blogger, and she actually was a librarian at the CIA, as in the Central Intelligence Agency, not the Cooking Institute, but really interesting past. But she goes back home in the first book to attend a funeral, and she ends up getting, sucked back into her hometown. She's now working in an ice cream parlor that her friend Caroline owns. I love the ice cream shop. Absolutely beautiful. It's called Utterly Delicious, and this takes place in Connecticut. This one, the plot is so excited. So basically we have a Halloween wedding, a Halloween festival. There's going to be Halloween ice cream flavors that Riley is designing for the wedding, and I am so excited. But essentially somebody ends up dying, and the ex-wife of the groom-to-be is the suspect, and Riley doesn't think they actually did it, so she starts to investigate. I am so excited. How stunning is the illustration and artwork on this? What? It's so beautiful. You have the gazebo and everything. This is the most fall Halloween themed book I could possibly pick, so I'm very excited for that. Next we had a prompt to pick a book with a orange or black cover for the Halloween fall vibes. I ended up picking 2 because I'm indecisive. We'll see. I should be able to get through all these. We're gonna do my best. But the first book I picked is called 15 Minutes of Flame by Christine Britcher, and this is a Nantucket candlemaker mystery. I think it is book 3 in the series, so I will be jumping in. But it is a cozy mystery series, so usually you can kind of jump in at any point for those. They're kind of, set up where they're standalones usually. And this definitely has some gorgeous orange going on. Another one set during fall. This one actually takes place during the annual Halloween fundraiser. Basically, we have our main character Stella. She owns the Nantucket candle shop, and her friend inherits this like creepy old haunted like house. And Stella is over there one day and she checks out this like shack in the back, and she finds the body of an old like Quaker woman. So for like, this is a nice like cold case cozy mystery series. So she starts to really investigate, look into the town history, try to solve who is this woman, what is her story, why was she back here and like really cleverly hidden for all these years because no one has found her for such a long time. I'm very excited. I love a good like cold case, like a good historical mystery in modern days. I think that's going to be really fun. And how cute is the cat? Gorgeous. I don't know what kind of cat that is, but I'm hoping I find out because the cat's really cute. For the black cover, I picked a new cozy mystery series. This is book 1 in the series. It's one that was on my most anticipated, like excited releases. I'll link it above. I did one where it's like 5 new cozy mystery series that I'm super excited for, and this was called Play the Fool by Lina Chern. And this is actually a very unique cozy mystery, I'm gonna say. One, the cover, very unusual. It's just much more like dark and kind of creepy looking compared to a lot of cozy mystery covers. So our main character in this is Katie, and she's recently returned home from Chicago after a failed attempt at adulting. So she starts to work at this shop that's selling like, it sounds like Russian tchotchkes is what she's selling in the mall, but she meets this person named Marley, and Marley is a tarot card reader. So very kind of an interesting premise for a cozy mystery, a little bit more, I don't know, dark, I would say, like a very unique profession there. And Marley convinces Katie to actually try doing a reading for a customer. So one day Katie agrees, she's doing a reading for a customer, and she looks over at the customer's phone, and I guess maybe the screen lights up or something, and there's a photo of her friend Marley dead with like a gunshot wound. Really, I mean, obviously very alarming, very strange. Katie is a bit of a cynic when it comes to tarot card reading, so she is going to rely on her street smarts to solve this mystery and hopefully find Marley, see if it's some kind of ruse or if Marley is actually dead, figure it out. I'm very interested in this just because it's such a unique premise, and the cover really caught my attention. It's just so unique for a cozy mystery series, so I can't wait to give this one a try. Then the next prompt we have is to read like a graphic novel or a manga or novella. So I'm going to opt for a novella. I've really been on a big Sherlock Holmes kick, and we have a Sherlock Holmes collection. So I've decided I'm going to read Sign of 4. So this is about 90 pages, so it's not a short story because I've recently been reading a lot of short stories from Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. So I'm very excited for this. I don't know much about it, but I'm gonna go in not knowing much about it and see what I think of it. I did read A Study in Scarlet a long time ago and really enjoyed it, so I'm looking forward to reading another longer Sherlock Holmes novel, see what I think. That will be my novella choice. And then one other kind of random pick I have is In the Hall with the Knife, a Clue mystery, because I'm on a big Clue kick and I had to. Let me look at this cover. So incredibly beautiful. This is written by Diana Peterfront, and basically this is a young adult mystery, so we have 6 characters, and I'm going to read off their names. We have Beth Peacock Pacaw, Orchard McKee, Vaughn Green, Sam Mustard Master, Finn Plum, and Scarlet Mystery. And so they are all left stranded in this aristocratic mansion of a campus with their headmaster, Mr. Body. And this is kind of like the Clue board game. It's based off of that. Basically, they are trapped in this mansion, and I'm assuming he dies in the hall with the knife based on the cover. And yeah, that's kind of the premise. I love Clue. I could not wait. And then on a side note, I saw this at my grocery store the other day, and I've never seen this before. This is the official Clue whodunit, crack the case by solving puzzles. So I'm going to do this throughout Summerween because I thought, what's better than this? It says you get to test your investigative skills as you figure out who done it and a unique new take on the classic crime-solving board game. And there's a really interesting take on the characters. You kind of have some different profiles of them, like Miss Peacock is a real estate, or like a solicitor, and we have Green, who is a mayor. We have Professor Plum, he's still a professor. White is a chef. So I'm really enjoying this. I'm excited to start this. I'll take you along, see what I think. But the artwork in this is really, really quite beautiful. There's some really nice images, so I'm very excited. It looks pretty immersive. So we'll see what we think of this. Alright guys, it is a couple hours later. I have been working on some of my freelance writing for the day. Since it is a Friday, I'm still doing a bit of work, but I've also made some progress on In the Hall with the Knife. I am currently on page 149, and I got my little bookmark cover in honor of Summerween there. What I'm finding interesting about this is I didn't realize you actually get to follow all 6 of the characters' point of view. So you're switching back and forth between all 6 of the main clue characters, which I find really fascinating. I'm currently most interested in Orchid and Green's stories, which really surprised me because traditionally Peacock is the character I always play. I don't know, I love the color blue growing up, so I guess I was always attracted to her character, and then Professor Plum was always like my favorite male character probably. But I'm very excited for this. It's fun. It's definitely it's pretty serious. I would say overall the vibe for this is still pretty serious, even though it's a young adult mystery, but of course it's not overly graphic or anything like that as a result, which is nice. The mystery itself is really good. I'm liking the characters. Mustard's kind of growing on me. I'm a little disappointed with Peacock though. I was excited to see their take on her, and she is, I don't know, I find her character very obnoxious, but I don't know, maybe we'll see. Maybe she'll have a redeemable moment later on, hopefully. I'm finding Scarlet and Plum's relationship very interesting. They kind of have a Machiavellian like duo. They like bond together. It's very interesting. It's very fun. The mystery happens pretty quickly, so I feel like this is a nice like fast-paced read. It's very atmospheric. It's dark. They're snowed in and like trapped, so you have like the nice isolation trope, which I love. And it's perfect. It's chilling. It's really nice. The characters are good. It's flying through quickly. Each of the characters does have a unique story, like a really unique backstory, unique motivations, and they do differ from the characters in the board game or also the movie. I really love the Clue movie, so you do have that, but they still kind of stay true to their strengths. So Scarlet, for example, is still very much like a socialite character, and Professor Plum, or Plum, is a very, you know, academic character, very smart. Orchid is also quite smart, because I believe in the newer Clue game with her, she's like a scientist, I want to say. And I also like that they're incorporating some of the other characters in the story, so we still have Mrs. White and Rusty, who I think is kind of in some of the online Clues I've played, so we still have their characters, which is really nice. And Mr. Body, of course, is the headmaster. So I am really enjoying this so far. It's really fun. I do think I'll be able to finish this by the end of the day, but we are going to go hop into some pumpkin chocolate chip cookies because I am craving sweets, and what could be more fall than a pumpkin dessert. So I will link the pumpkin chocolate chip cookies recipe down below. Basically, it's a pretty basic cookie recipe. Like basically it's a chocolate chip cookie recipe with pumpkin added to it. The only adjustment I make is instead of pumpkin pie spice, I just use straight cinnamon just because that's what I have on hand. But I really like these. I think they're really good. They're not overly sweet. They have a really nice like moist like texture because of the pumpkin, but it's a really nice treat, really soft. They will appear underbaked. I've made these before. They look underbaked when they come out of the oven, so definitely give them some time to kind of finish cooking and like set a little bit on the hot pan before removing them, but they will firm up and they're delicious. They're just very soft cookies by nature because of the pumpkin, but I highly recommend these. They are to die for. Hey guys, I'm gonna do a quick reading update on In the Hall with the Knife. I just finished it, have some thoughts, and I'm gonna go ahead and just put some books away while we talk about the ending and what I thought for this. This will be a no spoiler or like a spoiler free update, so no spoilers with this, just my general thoughts and overall rating for this book. So my overall thoughts for this, I'm gonna say it's a 4-star read. It is young adult, so the mystery was definitely a bit simpler than a lot of the adult mysteries that I read, which I was expecting. That's nothing unusual or strange. But I did really like the conclusion. I thought it was well done. I thought the build-up was really fun. I did enjoy the characters. Peacock grew on me a little bit, but she was still probably my least favorite character, which was, like I said earlier, a little surprising because she was my favorite growing up to play the game with. However, I did really enjoy it. I thought the writing was fast-paced. I found the characters overall to be really enjoyable. I enjoyed learning about each of their backstories, and it definitely left you wanting more. I would say I really want to get my hands on the next book, and I actually just went and ordered it, so I think that's definitely high praise if nothing else. Let's see if we can fit all of these on the shelf. This is my cozy mystery shelf, and it's getting quite packed, as we can see on there. And one more, there we go. Okay, so we have those organized. Alright, and that is just my final quick update on this. I thought it went really well. I enjoyed this. I ordered book 2 already because I just love the theme. They incorporated a lot of fun elements from the board game. I don't want to give any spoilers, but there are some really cool tie-ins. So I think if you're a fan of the game, if you like a mystery, and you don't mind a young adult mystery in particular, this was really fun. The next one in the series is called In the Study with the Wrench, and then the third one, it's a trilogy. The third one is In the Ballroom with the Candlestick. So I'm really excited. I'm hoping book 2 is just as good. They had a little excerpt at the end for the first chapter, like prologue from book 2, and I read it and really enjoyed it. Very excited for that. So far we are off to a good start. Okay, and just wrapping up what we're going to move on to next for reading. I already started 15 Minutes of Flame by Kristen Brecher. I'm very excited for this. So far it's going really well. I am 86 pages in, so a little less than a third of the way into this so far. The mystery has started off really quickly. We're already getting into it. We're getting into some really interesting clues and aspects and trying to figure out who the dead skeleton belongs to, who's that. There seems like there's going to be a lot of family and town history involved, which I always love. So far I'm really enjoying this. I felt like the author did an excellent job with just immediately sucking you into Stella's story. She's a really likable character. I find her very relatable, very easy to follow. I'm liking her character so far, and I believe the cat's name is Tucker, although I didn't see, so far at least, a specific cat breed listed, and I'm really interested in knowing that. So if you happen to know what breed this cat is, if you've read this series or you just have a good guess because you're a big cat person, I would love to know. The other book I really want to start tonight is The House in the Pines by Anna Reyes. This one just sounds really interesting. When I was talking about it earlier, I was like, yeah, I want to read that. That sounds fun. So I think I will start that tonight. I doubt I will finish either of these tonight, but I will have updates on these in my Summerween vlog for day 2. I am planning to do both day 2 and day 3 in one larger video. It's kind of like a Summerween weekend vlog, so stay tuned for that one. I'm hoping to get that up on Monday. And yeah, that is going to be the start to our Summerween, and I hope you enjoyed baking some cookies with me today and some of the reading. I definitely recommend this series. I do think it was a really fun time. Again, definitely a little bit simpler of a mystery and everything, very fast paced, easy to get through and stuff. It's a young adult, so it's a little bit easier to fly through, and I just love this cover. I mean, look at how awesome. I mean, what a great cover for this. I am a little sad to see that this book is a trilogy. I really thought that there would be 6 books that would, for the series, because there's 6 clue weapons usually. So I thought that would be a really cool way to do it, or 6 characters. I thought that would be cool, but it sounds like it is finished at that 3rd book, so I only have 2 left in the series, which is a little sad, but I did really love it. Highly recommend it. I'm still most interested in Orchid and Green stories. I found their stories to be especially just interesting, compelling. They have a lot of intrigue around theirs. I think Scarlet and Plum are really solid characters as well. Mustard is really gaining attention as well. I'm thinking he has some interesting things he's got to learn about life. I'm excited to see that. And like I said, Peacock's still not really my favorite, but I know she's also supposed to be kind of like maybe the gossipy person in the group, so maybe she's not supposed to be. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts if you read this, but I am very excited.